Hi, I'm Ben, and today we're going to be learning about how to bike in the rain. So, I'm currently in my blue jacket. I'm about to be in my yellow jacket. About 1 month ago I filmed this, and I forgot to film an intro. So, this is the intro. I hope you enjoy, and stick to the end where I actually put on all of the clothes, and I show you how I actually quickly get ready to dress in the rain, and what I wear, along with like the silly, ridiculous looking booties, and the waterproof pants. And of course, I mean, the jacket's the jacket, that's fine. But yeah, that's that. All right, on with the thingamajig. I thought I would take a second, because it's raining, and I just got back from a bike commute, to explain how my bike commute goes when it gets rainy. I can barely see out of these right now, they're kind of foggy because I stopped. But first things first is I bike with goggles, or some sort of eyewear. Right now they're sunglasses, because I knew it was not going to be dark out. But as it gets more and more wintry, and as the seasons change, I'm in Toronto, and it's going to get pitch black, especially when I am biking to and from work for my commute. Now, I'm not there just yet, and it's light out, that's why I wanted to do this video. What you'll notice is that I look like an ice cream cone. So, I have Gore-Tex pants on, I have a waterproof layer that's very, very thin. And for fall, this is perfect because you can layer with it. What that means is just, I have a shirt, an athletic wear, a wicking shirt on, and I have a few of these. And then I have a sweater, just a normal cotton sweater. I could have better stuff, but I mean, that's where I can control how much I exert myself with the motor, so that works. Now, another thing that you might not see in many other videos for cycling is I wear earplugs. Wearing earplugs when biking is kind of counterintuitive to a lot of people, but I wear them year-round. Especially when it's raining or snowing or anything out, I can hear everything just perfectly. Especially when loud trucks go right by, it doesn't really have me flinch. Or if a car honks at me and I'm not ready for it, I could get scared, and some people are just flinch and they're like, oh my God, that can actually cause a crash right there. So for me, wearing earplugs is an important thing. And then when I'm checking my blind spots, left and right, I don't get water in my ears. So they kind of act as just a barrier to debris. Not only water, but there's like a debris being kicked up by the other cars and by trucks and everything. So not only is eye protection good to keep the rain out of your eyes, but just debris out of your eyes. And if you don't have fenders, which I would strongly suggest that you have, the gravel and the dirt and other things can be kicked up from your front wheel and just get right into your face. So again, I always wear these or construction goggles. I've heard of using ski goggles as well. As we get into winter, I might try that, but I'm worried about my peripheral vision being blocked, which totally, with goggles, they come out quite a bit, substantially, so you lose your peripheral vision. So I have chosen safety goggles for now. Just typical ones from Home Hardware. Now, for my bike setup, there were a few people asking when I originally did my 10,000 kilometer review what the milk bags were for. Actually, they didn't know what they were, but it was plastic around here. Either way, instead of throw these into the landfill, I cut them up and made them into squares of plastic. Then I duct taped them together around the actual controller, and the controller is the brains of the whole e-bike. So the actual hub motor doesn't contain any brains necessarily. It just contains the magnets that make things work and all of those electronics. Now to the meat of it. In this case, it's a DIY e-bike, obviously. I would hope this is obvious. You would not see this in a store. That would be pretty pathetic. You have the controller and you have the battery. I have my battery mounted upside down because there wasn't enough room on my frame to mount it the proper way. So I actually have to have the top sealed as well, just so that water doesn't seep down into the battery itself, because it's meant to be the other way around, and so that water can drain out from the bottom. But there's a hole at the top, so I have to put these milk bags right here. As for the actual motor itself, that is nice and sealed. I have driven through puddles that I should not have driven through before, as in like, I mean, they were gargantuan and everything got soaked, including me, and just, it was a mess. But the bike didn't die. That was, I was surprised, because it was submerged and I haven't had any problems. I would not recommend this. Just like Teslas don't recommend going through the water, but they still do. But don't. As for the tires, there's nothing special about them. They're still just regular, normal tires. What I do advise is when you are biking, never take corners fast. You don't know if it's gonna be really slippery, and especially when there's the first rain, all of the oils come out of the ground, and what you have is a very slick ground that you can just slide on. And that's horrible because you're gonna be on the ground, you're gonna ruin your panniers, you're gonna ruin your body, you're gonna break things, you're gonna break your bike, all your gear. Just don't slip, it sucks, it really hurts. If you're unfamiliar with your route, make sure you don't hit any puddles that you don't know what's under them. Because those puddles, I don't know if you've seen certain pictures, but there have been cars that have just been consumed by puddles. The same goes for you. If you're riding anywhere in the world, that puddle could be anything. You don't know what's under there. Unless you can see and you're going really slow, that's, I guess, fine. But for the most part, stay away from puddles because those could be a disaster. You could get your tire stuck in and then you do like a front flip and die, or you could plummet into a giant puddle that you are not prepared for and you just plummet into traffic and then you die because a car hits you. That's also bad if you didn't know. And another tip is make sure you have a light going because without that light, drivers find it very, very difficult to see you. So I choose to have it on strobe. I've heard recently that that's bad, but I'll get back to you on that. I think it makes you more visible because it's just a distracting light that is annoying to drivers. And in this case, you want to be a distracting, annoying thing that people don't want to be near because you don't want to get hit by drivers. Don't get hit. That's, I guess, the main lesson out of this. I want to cover something about panniers, actually. A lot of people think they need waterproof panniers to ride in the rain. I don't have waterproof panniers. What happens is you need water-resistant panniers because most of the time, if you have water coming from the sky, it's going to land on your panniers and it's going to just come right off, just like so. So what happens is, as long as your pannier is closed, the inside stays dry. So this is a grocery pannier, and it actually doesn't even have any zippers or closing. Rain could get in right here, but it doesn't. I put my phone in, right, in that open pannier while it was raining, and nothing happened because what happens is the rain just falls off. With the really sealed up, waterproof, entirely waterproof panniers, you actually get the problem where you have condensation build up inside and then things can get wet that way. I choose to just have these panniers, and once you get to your destination, if it's your office or if it's your home, you can just let them dry overnight. By the morning, those panniers will be dry. It's not a big deal if they're wet. And I think a lot of people have that problem. They're like, I don't want to get wet. If it's raining and I'm not prepared and I have to bike, it's not a problem. Hey, look, a Tesla. This is my neighbor, and you don't have to worry about any problems when it rains. So maybe I should just get the Tesla instead of building my own bicycle. Nope, that's an entire other video that I'll get into, how electric cars don't actually solve. That's an aside though. They're still really cool. I'm gonna show you what I'm wearing right now. If you're worried about hair when you bike, if you're going in the morning and you don't wanna have your hair all messed up, you can get caps that go on top of your helmet, or you can just do what I do and use the water to style your hair when you get there. There, my hair's done, there. But you can get rain caps for your helmet so that your hair doesn't get wet. It also keeps you warm in the winter, so I've heard. I use a balaclava once it gets really, really cold, and then you don't have a problem of rain. You have snow instead. And I'm going to take off and just show how dry I am, which I'm totally bone dry. Let me just put you... I am very, very dry. Underneath, I have a sweater, which is cotton, and it's totally dry. So that's the jacket. It does a really good job. It's just a Patagonia jacket. Then I have these. These are really nice. Let me just, okay. These are nice Mountain Equipment Co-op pants, or MEC pants in Canada. What I like about these is they're not like slush pants, but slush pants will do. You don't need anything fancy. But the reason I like these is you can take them off at stores without having to do like the dance, because they open up from the side here with a zipper. So if you go like this, just like that, and I'm totally dry in there. Now, these awful looking booties are just from Amazon, and they keep my shoes dry. They slip right on and go like this. They're amazing. So the outside is wet, There's no breathability in these. These were like 15 or 20 bucks. It's super cheap. But they've lasted a whole year so far, and they haven't shown any signs of wear. So, yeah, I'm totally dry. I'm not wet at all. So I'm gonna take off the other side, just so you get the idea of how quick this can be done. You go like this, and they go all the way up, and there's also a zipper to go down as well. But I guess I'll just take this off right now. Ugh. These take a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, then this goes like this. And then it allows big boots or shoes through. So that's the idea of when you have the zip up here, it allows for there to be a bigger hole so that you can get your boot or your shoe through. That's always the problem when it comes to slush pants or any sort of waterproof pants, is now you're stuck wearing them wherever you are. But this way, you can only look like a doofus for just a few moments instead of the whole time you're in a grocery store or something. So they go like this, and at this point everything's already dry because it was misting. I would have been soaked though. So yeah, now these pants are nice. I never get wet in them. They have creases right here in the knee so that they don't get taut. Yeah, like these, I would recommend them, or any similarly styled ones. I really like having the zipper on the side because it just allows you to get out of them really, really quickly. And for putting them on, I guess, you know what, I'll do a quick demo. I put these on first though. So this is a left foot. These can be a bit tricky, so I'll just put this on. You go toe first, then you kind of snug up as far as you can get, pull it down, then you go, whoop, done. And you go like that, tuck everything in, and you're done. That's the dorkiest looking shoe you'll ever see. I guess it's that or be soaked. So anyway, I guess I'll put on this one. Let's put on the other one too. Why not? You know what? Okay, I'll just redress. So tug it forward or tug it back. Go like this. Then you take these pants and you put them on. As you can see, they go right on and they look silly. Something like cowboy style almost. I do up these snaps and the buckle, the fly. Then you go like this. And that's that. So that's these. And then the jacket just goes on. It's super easy. Let me just put it on down here. Yeah, you know how to put a jacket on, it's fine. Then you zip up and you're good. When it's absolutely downpouring, because I don't have one of the caps on my helmet, I put this under my helmet. So this is not a cycling jacket. So if I don't do this, the hood kind of flaps in the wind behind me whenever I'm wearing this. It's fine, but sometimes it's an annoyance when it's raining because it pools a little bit of water. It's not the best, but in this case, nothing happened, and most times, nothing happens. So yeah, that's my wardrobe. Nothing really fancy about it except for the booties, the pants, and the jacket. I guess those are all fancy when you're used to not cycling clothes or waterproof clothes, but that's that. I hope you learned something by watching this. You've made it to the end, so please give the video a like, because if you've made it this far, I don't know why you wouldn't like the video. Coming up very soon is going to be the winter stuff. I no longer sport the yellow jacket. Instead, I sport layers, which are the most important thing in Canadian winter wardrobes. And today, I'm just gonna wear this. This isn't actually, it used to be waterproof. It now isn't, but when it gets to winter, well, we'll get into what that means. Final thing, if you can go ahead and subscribe, that would be amazing. It helps me out, and if you hit the bell notification icon as well, you get notified when there's new content out. So, coming up, obviously, the winter stuff. I'm gonna be talking about winter biking, but there's also podcasts and other things that I put on the channel, so go ahead and subscribe and you'll see what's coming out. Bye!